Hello BookTube, a package of manga arrived in the mail today, this time from Powell's, the great bookstore in Portland, Oregon. A few weeks ago, Powell's had a 20% off used book sale, and I decided to take advantage of that sale and buy several volumes of manga. Unfortunately, most of the manga I bought were not on sale, and in fact, some of the books were shipped separately, so some of the books came about a week or two ago, and I decided to hold off on them until the rest of the order arrived, which was today. So let's get started. First up is D. Gray Man, volumes 1, 2, and 3 by Katsura Hoshino. Set in a fictional 19th century England, The Gray Man is the story of Alan Walker, a 15-year-old boy who roams the earth in search of innocence. Washed away to unknown parts of the world after the Great Flood, innocence is the mysterious substance used to create weapons that obliterate demons known as Akuma. A born exorcist, Walker's primary anti-Akuma weapon is the cross that's embossed on his red and disfigured left hand, which contains innocence. But not only does Walker destroy Akuma, he sees the Akuma hiding inside a person's soul. Together with his fellow exorcists fighting under the command of the Black Order, Walker leads the battle against the Millennium Earl, the evil being out to destroy mankind. So, this is Volume 1, this is Volume 2, and this is Volume 3. D. Gray Man is one of those series that I've been wanting to pick up for a while. It came out initially in the early 2000s and is still going on, although I think periodically due to Hoshino's health problems. For the last 15 or so years, she's had serious health complications that's forced D. Gray Man to go onto either a monthly schedule or a periodic schedule. But I've been wanting to try this series out outside of the anime for a while, so I'm finally picking these volumes up. I also ordered 2 volumes of Fairy Tale 100 Year Quest by Hiro Mashima and Atsuo Ueda, volumes 4 and 5. Has Fairy Tale been taken down by the White Mage? An urgent message arrives from Juvia to Natsu and the rest of the gang, who already have their hands full with a town that turns out to be the work of the wood dragon god Aldurin. But now pulled between the capture of their fellow fairy tale compatriots and their encounter with one of the 5 great dragon gods, they must wrestle with 2 difficult questions. Do they turn back on their hard-fought journey? And what is the White Mage really after? So, Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest is the sequel series to Fairy Tale by Hiro Mashima, one of my favorite manga series of all time. This series sees Natsu and his companions traveling to a different continent on a mission that or on a quest that nobody has been able to accomplish in over 100 years. That's why it's called the 100 Years Quest. And the quest is to seal away the 5 dragon gods of this continent. All the while, there are other things going on as well, including this mysterious White Mage. Another series I've been wanting to try out is Berserk, so I went ahead and ordered the first volume. Berserk is by Kentaro Miura. His name is Guts, the Black Swordsman, a feared warrior spoken of only in whispers, bearer of a gigantic sword in iron hand and the scars of countless battles and tortures. His flesh is also indelibly marked with the brand, an unholy symbol that draws the forces of darkness to him and dooms him as their sacrifice. But Guts won't take his fate lying down. he'll cut a crimson swath of carnage through the ranks of the damned and anyone else foolish enough to oppose him. Accompanied by Puck the elf, more an annoyance than a companion, Guts relentlessly follows a dark, bloodstained path that leads only to death or vengeance. So, most people who've, I think, have started to collect Berserk over the last few years are probably collecting these volumes in the hardcover omnibus editions put out by Dark Horse. However, those Dark Horse omnibus editions are incredibly expensive, largely probably because they are an American comic book publisher and not specializing in manga. Compare, say, the $40 for a volume of Berserk in those hardcover omnibus editions, or even Trigun, compared to the significantly cheaper hardcover editions of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So, yeah. So, Berserk is one of the few manga series that are published by an American comic book publisher. And, yeah. So that's why I've decided to collect these individual volumes if I do decide to collect Berserk. They will be in the paperbacks and not the hardcovers. Another more recent series that I've decided to try out is Akane-banashi by Yuki Suenaga and Takamasa Moue. This is volume 1. Shinta Arakawa wants nothing more than to pass his Shinichi exam, the test that would make him a top-ranked headliner and master storyteller in the traditional Japanese art of Rakugo. Akane Osaki, his daughter and biggest fan, spies on him while he practices and learns his routines for herself. When Rakugo master Isho Arakawa expels everyone after the exam with no explanation, a fire is lit inside Akane. From that day forth, she has had one goal: to avenge her father and prove his art was worthy of the title of Shinichi. Akane unintentionally stirs up a scandal when she's discovered taking informal lessons from her father's former teacher, Shiguma Arakawa, and she's about to make even bigger waves because she's about to begin her first steps in climbing the ranks of a Rakugo performer from Zenza opening act to Shinichi headliner by exchanging her secret lessons for formal training. But she'll still have to finish high school and navigate her relationship with Shiguma's existing apprentices, all while learning that becoming a stellar Rakugoka takes much more than just being good at performing. And the final 3 volumes I have of this haul are volumes 4, 5, and 6 of Hunter x Hunter by Yoshihiro Togashi. Hunters are a special breed, dedicated to tracking down treasures, magical beasts, and even other men. But such pursuits require a license, and less than 1 in 100,000 can pass the grueling qualification exam. Those who do pass gain access to restricted areas, amazing stores of information, and the right to call themselves hunters. In-game. The 4th exam rages on as the hunter hopefuls try to gain points by stealing each other's badges. Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio fall into a trap set for another applicant and must face a pit full of poisonous snakes. When Leorio is bitten, Gon braves the snakes to snatch the antidote and a badge. Finally, the friends reach the end of the exams and the ultimate reverse tournament. The winner of each run automatically passes the hunter exam, but the defeated keep competing against each other until the last candidate standing fails the exam. Killing an opponent means immediate failure. Will Kalua's rage stand in the way of his dream to become a hunter? So, this is Volume 4, Volume 5, and Volume 6. to Steve Pyramid It, Hunter x Hunter, Akane-banashi, Berserk, Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, and The Gray Man. Thank you, BookTube. I will be back shortly with a tag video that I'm hoping will be a lot of fun. Let's see if I can do this.